Yeah, well, I'm going to read some stuff because everybody's emotional. So Stefan's being evaluated for a head and neck injury. Obviously, words are words, but he got hit pretty hard. We're in the early stages of that evaluation, and as soon as we get a definitive, and real good clarity on the extent of the injury, we'll give you more. I don't want to speculate, but he is, he's going to the hospital, but he is fine. He was alert when he was loaded onto the ambulance. His fingers were moving, so he was okay in that regard. No paralysis, nothing major, but obviously, again, I don't want to downplay it. I'm very happy to our medical staff because they did a good job to be careful. We can't underestimate that type of stuff. And certainly Wilfred, I appreciate what he did because the ref wasn't going to stop the game. And everybody knew that the game should have been stopped. So good on him. So thank you, Wilfred. Okay.
All right, with that, we'll start with questions. Maz, the mic is coming from Augusto to you.
Yeah, Brian, I wanted to just speak to moments like this where, they're bigger than football, and it kind of
much bigger
focuses all of us to, the greater things about life.
Be better people, nicer to people. Yeah, Maz, for sure. And we all should. The world would be a better place.
That's all I got for you.
Okay.
All right, we'll go to Jeremiah.
No tactics.
Just on the decision there at the end, I assume you asked that the game be ended, and so what was the exchange that you had with the referee on that?
He was going to give a corner. And I said, it can't be a corner kick. It's either a foul or stop the game. And then Wilfred, figured out that it's bigger than a corner kick in the game. And then both of us came together, and the ref finally, when both head coaches came together, decided to make the right decision.
So just so I understand, it sounds like Wilfred took it upon himself to sort of say, no,
Yep.
the game it's not like the ref came to him and said, what do you want to do?
No, absolutely not.
All right, we'll work over this way, but as we do, Nico Moreno, I see you have a hand raised on Zoom. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Oh, thank you. Brian, just obviously this situation is bigger than anything, but, just your overall takes on the team's intensity at the beginning of the game and, the overall play and the way that you planned it out against this Columbus Crew team.
Yeah, obviously Steph's injury takes full precedent, but I'm glad you asked that, Nico, because we do have to move on. I mean, that's just part of it. The guys are going to have a day off tomorrow. They can decompress. It's a together group there. They all have Steph's back. But the game was a good game against two top teams. And, we started off the game really well, the first 10 minutes, and then they had a long possession spell, got on top of us. Our second goal gave us life, the last 5-6 minutes of the game. And then coming out of halftime, I think what we discussed at halftime came out into the play. Our defending was better, smarter. Our attacking movements were better. We created more expected goals. The possession numbers were 52-48 for them, which is good because that was one of the things we asked our team to do. Make sure that percentage stayed close to 50-50. So for me, it was certainly a down day because of what happened, and the scoreline 1-1. I don't like draws, but at the end of the day, it was a decent performance by the team.
Thank you, Coach.
George.
Coach, so tough week with injury to João Paulo as well. So yesterday we saw that there was a very nasty injury with Jamal Musiala. And for the people that don't really follow soccer and injury, like he's going to be out for 4 to 5 months just on that injury and ACL, and we've had a couple of those. It takes a lot longer. Mm-hmm. Can you just explain a little bit what's involved in the recovery from an ACL versus another type of injury?
Well, I'm not an expert, but I will tell you in bigger picture terms, maybe to Maz's question, look, there was a famous Portuguese footballer that lost his life. And pro sports is certainly entertainment, but they're human beings. It's life. Unfortunate things happen, and how do we react in those moments, I think is critical. I think being nicer, being better human beings, being more considerate, all of those little things is where you're kind of leading the question. And I agree with you. Again, I think I'll credit Wilfred again. The entire Columbus team, all the players, they didn't want to finish the game. They understood the gravity of Steph's injury, and that was fair play on the entire crew organization.
Other questions on this side of the room? Okay, we'll come back over here to Jeremiah.
Yeah, just I guess to steer it towards soccer. What was behind the first? Or, I don't know. The second group of subs was Albert and Paul came off. What was the thinking there? Was that you just wanted to? Yeah, what was the thinking there?
We just wanted fresh legs. Look, it was hot. It was tired. They put in a Herculean effort, and it was nothing more than I have a deep bench, and when I can bring Pedro de la Vega and Ryan Kent on the field, I was trying to get more attack. I started with getting Jordan, trying to get him back on the field, getting back involved, but Danny Masowski was good, and the team actually was playing well. So I gotta make sure I revisit and make sure that I make the right subs at the right times to make sure that the team continues to perform.
Mas.
Hey, Brian, you said at halftime you made an adjustment defensively. Without going too much, what did you have to push up, or is it more of a man marking?
Well, we conceded too much. We conceded too much of the field in the first half. They pushed us back, and then we're able to keep possession in their half of the field. They're very good at playing guys out, and so what we wanted to do was push our block a little higher, but stay in a block. Don't press the goalkeeper unless it's the right moment. Actually, we were trying to force them into either the wide sideline traps or make them play the ball back to the goalkeeper, and then just stay there and sit there and wait and let the goalkeeper make a decision, and then we react to what they were doing. And we turned the ball over on them a bunch of times in that first 25 minutes of the second half.
Jeremiah.
Yeah, Kalani makes the play on the goal, and then he ends up getting the second yellow. I don't know how would you
It was a
assess?
soft second yellow. I don't complain about the referees. You guys know me by now. I never complain about the referees, but the guy was going over already.
What did you make of Kalani's performance aside from the red card?
He was fine. I mean, look, he struggled in the beginning a little bit. Some of his decision making, I think he's a guy that's got a lot of energy and stuff, and the game has to slow down for him. But the first goal, that was him. I mean, he created it. Back here, getting up the field. He's a super talented kid. He's gutted for Steph, but he's also gutted that he took a red card. The kid's going to learn from that. And we're going to move on. Same with Reed. Same with, other guys have gotten reds. We've got a few too many this year, but I'll try and correct that.
I think we got to everybody. Appreciate your time this evening.
Thanks,
Locker room will be
everybody.
open like normal. We'll see you on the other side.